Arjun was a young man with big dreams. Living in a noisy city, his days were filled with endless notifications, crowded streets, and constant chatter. He believed that to succeed, he had to speak louder, respond faster, and always stay connected. He thought that silence meant weakness, and noise was a sign of strength. So he kept talking, kept posting, kept explaining himself to anyone who would listen. But the more he spoke, the more invisible he felt. His words were lost in the noise of others. He started to wonder, why do I feel so unheard, even when I'm speaking all the time? Every day, this question echoed louder in his mind. He couldn't escape it. Deep down, he felt there had to be another way, a way beyond all this noise. One day, in an important team meeting, Arjun tried even harder. He interrupted, raised his voice, and pushed his opinions onto the table. He believed this was how leaders acted, loud and commanding. But instead of gaining respect, he noticed his colleagues growing quiet, exchanging uncomfortable glances. No one looked impressed. After the meeting, his mentor, Mr. Dev, approached him and said calmly, "Arjun, a mind full of noise cannot hear the voice of wisdom." These words hit him deeply. For the first time, Arjun realized that all his noise was coming from fear. Fear of being ignored, fear of being seen as weak. But had all this noise really made him stronger? Seeing Arjun's confusion, Mr. Dev invited him for a quiet walk in the park. As they walked beneath tall trees, Mr. Dev said, "Listen." Arjun paused. "I don't hear anything," he replied. "Exactly," Mr. Dev smiled. "In this quiet, you begin to notice what noise hides: your own breath, the rustling leaves, your heartbeat. Silence isn't emptiness, it's space for awareness." As they walked further, Arjun felt his mind calming. The constant mental storm began to fade. He realized that silence wasn't something to fear. Maybe it was something to embrace. As they sat by a small pond, Mr. Dev began a story. There was a farmer who planted bamboo seeds. For 5 years, nothing grew above the soil. People laughed at him, called him foolish. But he kept watering the ground silently, trusting the process. Then, in the 5th year, the bamboo shot up 80 feet in just weeks. He looked at Arjun and said, "Strength grows silently. Just because you don't see progress doesn't mean it isn't happening." Arjun's eyes widened. He realized he had been too focused on noise, expecting immediate growth. But strength, like bamboo, takes time and silent patience. Inspired by the story, Arjun decided to try something new. At the next meeting, he didn't rush to speak. He listened, he observed. And when he finally spoke, his words were thoughtful and meaningful. People noticed. Arjun also began starting his mornings with a few minutes of silence. No phone, no noise, just himself and his breath. Slowly, he felt clarity return to his mind. He realized silence wasn't weakness. Silence was a way to listen better, not just to others, but to himself. Days turned into weeks, and Arjun's new habit grew stronger. His team started seeking his insights, valuing his calm presence. He no longer felt the need to fight for attention. Attention came naturally. Even in stressful situations, Arjun stayed composed. While others panicked, he remained focused, making clear and confident decisions. He had transformed. Silence was no longer a gap in the conversation. It was his power. One evening, Mr. Dev met Arjun again. "You see now, Arjun," he said, "the world is full of noise, but your mind doesn't have to be." Arjun smiled. "I used to fear silence," he admitted, "but now I see it as my strength." "Exactly," Mr. Dev replied. "When you embrace silence, you hear not just others, but your true self. And from that space comes your real power." Arjun nodded, feeling a deep sense of peace. Silence had not emptied him. It had filled him. As Arjun gazed at the quiet night sky, he reflected on his journey. He had found strength not in raising his voice, but in calming his mind. Not in constant noise, but in purposeful silence. Now I ask you, in a world so loud and crowded, when was the last time you sat in silence and listened to your own thoughts? Take a moment today. Embrace the stillness. You might just find your true strength hidden beneath the noise.